What's going on, guys? It's King Tuts Pro and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to go ahead and show you guys how to create typography, a typography illustration within Illustrator. This is going to be an Illustrator tutorial as well as a Photoshop tutorial, so just keep that in mind. We will be using both applications, so if you guys don't have these programs, then unfortunately this won't work. You're gonna have to use some other type of program, but this is the programs I'm gonna be using to create an illustration. You've probably already seen the illustration in the thumbnail when you clicked on this video. So I have a picture here of a wolf. It's a silhouette, and we're gonna be creating a silhouette. Now I just pretty much searched for silhouette, and this popped up. And I just imported the image into Illustrator. Now you could do this. You could trace over an image of some sort that you wanted to make, and you can just fill it with black. So use the pen tool, select the image, fill it with black, and then you should have your silhouette. But because I copied it from the internet, and you can see that it's pixelated, so we need to turn that into a vector-based image. So we click on our image here and we go to the top where it says image trace. Next to it, you're going to see a little box. Because it's only black, we're going to select black and white, or you can just select image trace, but I'm going to go with black and white. And then you're going to see that it's now a vector image and it's vector-based. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in, and you can see that it's now vector-based. So that is what we want. So now, once we've done that, we're going to be creating our words. Now, because this is a wolf and it's animal related, I'm going to just type in stuff that comes to my mind when I think of a wolf. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new layer on top of that. And I'm going to name this wolf. So just rename your layers. That will help you stay more organized. So wolf, and then for layer 2, I'm going to go ahead and rename that to text. And once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and use our text tool. And once we've created our text tool, I would go over to the left, or you can select the type tool, and then I'm gonna go ahead and type in our words. Now I'm gonna be typing in, I'm gonna type in midnight because wolves howl right at night, or at midnight, and I'm gonna go ahead and make that bigger. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just make this to 100. That's a little too big. Let's go 70. 70 is good, and that looks good. So now we're gonna have to change that to white in just a second. Not right now though. So we have midnight here, and I'm gonna be changing the font for this. So I'll come back once I have all the words put together. Alright guys, so now I have all my words put in here. So I have midnight, twilight, howl, sky, and moon. And you guys are like, twilight, what? I don't know, I just came up with stuff that reminded me of wolves, so twilight is there, okay? Anyway, so once we have all of our, all of our words here, we're gonna go ahead and select all of them. So just, quickly select all of them. And I'm gonna go ahead and change the font. Now the font I will be using is called, it's called Automatic Bold, okay? So I'll post the link for that in the description for you guys to download. And we're going to be changing the color to white. So simply click right here, and then just you could either hold shift to bring up the the alternate color UI or user interface and select white. Now of course you won't be able to see anything because it's a white background, but once you move it right here, you'll be able to see it. So I'm going to go ahead and make this smaller here. Doesn't really matter because we'll be resizing it anyway. So I'm going to be locking the background, which is our wolf, and here is our text. Make sure you typed in your text on the text layer. If not, just simply copy it first and then delete it and then go back to your text layer and then just paste it. So instead of typing it in all over again. So here's midnight, and what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and we're going to be resizing this or actually changing the way the word will be how it's gonna look. Okay, so we're gonna modify the font or the text. So to do this, simply go over to object and make sure you have your text selected first, and then go down to envelope distort, and then go to make with mesh. Now the rows, we're gonna select one because we only have one row, and make sure you typed each word on its own little layer, like not on its own layer, but just each word differently, not together. So I wouldn't have midnight and then twilight together. You just want to have each one different, apart from each other. Columns, now this is where it gets a little bit interesting. So right now we have midnight. So there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's eight letters in midnight. So for columns, we're going to put 8. So say for howl, because it has 4 letters, we're going to put in 4. So when you click OK, you can see that Illustrator tries its best to select each of its own little letter, and then you could modify each of these points manually. So I'm gonna go to the direct selection tool, click on one of these points, and what we're gonna be doing is we're just gonna be, you know, messing around with the little anchor points here, and I'm gonna click this, and then I'm gonna drag it over here. Now you're gonna see it's gonna look really weird, but that's okay. Click on the other little anchor point and then move it up. You can see that it's starting to take shape a little bit. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm just gonna be kind of making the text look like its head of this wolf. So I'm going to select this point here, this point here, this point here, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one down like that. So you can see it looks a little bit weird, it kind of shifts that way, but we're going to go ahead and fix that. So right now we're just kind of moving or fixing our little text here. So I want this to go down kind of like that. And I'm just using the top and the bottom anchors to move the actual little letters. So this box right here would modify this letter, which is M. And then we have midnight right here, and then this one, and then so on and so on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move this here, and there's another anchor here, and here, and here, and here. So try not to make the words very hard to read. So you can still kind of read this. Again, I'm going to modify this a lot. And what I'm going to be doing here is if you click, you know, with the direct selection tool, you click on the anchor, and then you're going to have 2 little handles. The one on the left will change this side, the left side. So you can see it's starting to take shape here. And then the right side, make sure you click on it or else it won't work. So select this side, and then it's gonna move the right side as well. So click this anchor here and move it to the left, and then I'll make this up a little bit, just like so. And I kind of want to keep this kind of straight, kind of going down, following the little path or the shape of the wolf's head. And that's what I'm trying to aim for. You should also be aiming for that as well, depending on the image. So the more complex the image is, the harder this will be. So just keep that in mind. Don't choose an image that's going to be very hard and you won't be able to you know, like do, okay? So I think this looks pretty cool. Again, you're gonna have to take time with this. This takes a lot of time. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this. So this T looks very weird, and I'm gonna drag this left handle up so you could kind of read it a little bit. And then if you click in the middle of the letter here, you could actually move this whole entire portion of this area instead of the little anchors, okay? So I'm gonna move this up a little bit to give it that illusion that it's kind of going down like that. And then here I'm gonna make this bigger. So when you're making your text, when you're modifying your text, you want to go ahead and make sure that the primary words are bigger and the secondary words are smaller. Okay, so we have midnight, which is, I guess, a primary word. So I'm gonna go and select this anchor, and I'm gonna move the right handle down. So it looks a little bit like this, and then I move this over here. Not too much. And you also want to keep a space in between each word and the outside edge of your image. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to come back once I have finished this word here. Guys, so I have finished the word here, so you can kind of see how the word is going to look like on this image. So you can kind of read it. It says midnight. So you don't want to, you know, make the word look very weird where you can't read it. All right. So you could still kind of read that it says midnight, and that's our primary word. So it's bigger. Okay. And that's why I selected a bigger portion of this image of the wolf. So you want to, again, keep some gap between the image and the word itself, and as well as the other words. So We're going to do the same thing for Twilight here. So select the word here, press V on your keyboard to select or to use the selection tool, and then go to Object, Envelope, Distort, and then Make with Mesh. Rows 1, because we only have 1 row. Twilight, there is 7, right? Let's see, 2, 4, 6, oh, there's 8. All right, so there's 8, so click OK, and you can see that Illustrator, again, wants to know, or, you know, selected each little lines right here to separate each letter so you could modify each little path. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to move this little anchor here, and I'm going to go around like this, same like this. So it's kind of like an S on the body, on the wolf's body. So I'm going to come back once I have finished. Alright guys, so I have finished the word here, so you can kind of see it kind of took shape. So when you're doing this, you kind of want to have fun with the words. So come up with your little creativity and kind of think to yourself how the shape of your image, in this case our wolf, and the word have in common. So you kind of want to, you know, get the word and shape it with the background, in this case our wolf, or whatever image you're using. So I kind of have it like this. So we have Twilight, and it kind of looks like an S, so it's kind of shaped like this because this is kind of going down, and then I want this like that. So it's kind of hard to explain when you're actually doing this. So again, you want to keep doing the same thing for this right here. And if you want to be really creative, in this case I want to be a little bit creative and create an eye for the sky. So that just rhymed, and I didn't even realize. So what I'm going to do here is very simple. So first, let me go ahead and move this down a little bit. And I'm going to create an eye somewhere here using just the words. So this is what typography is. So we're going to go over to Object, Envelope, Distort, Make with Mesh. And we're going to put in 3 because there's 3 letters in sky. Now, it's going to be a little bit difficult, but it's still achievable here. So I'm assuming the eye is like right here. So what I'm gonna do instead here is I'm gonna select the anchor here. I'm gonna move this down, so something like that. So I think that looks pretty good. Now, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna make, I'm gonna make this smaller here. So I'm gonna rotate I'm gonna go like this. Yeah, that looks good. And then just make this smaller. So we have sky here. That looks pretty cool. Now we have to shape this into a circle. So it's very simple. You could of course go to anchor, just click on the point, and then kind of start making your little circle like this, you know, like that. Whoops. Selecting each little anchor, like so. And then because it has like a harsh edge, so if I zoom in here, we want to go ahead and use the left handle and bring that up to make a little nice little curve like this. So I'm gonna do that for each one. Left handle, this one here, because it's kind of looks like that. So I'm gonna use the right handle to bring this down, and use this handle to bring the left side down. And we're gonna make this kind of like into an eye. So that looks pretty darn good. Well, not the best, of course. This is just a tutorial, but you want to take more time when you're doing this, guys. So just keep that in mind. You know, no pressure needed when you're you know, doing something very, you know, nice. So again, this is just me. For the tutorial. So that looks really weird, but hey, sky, that looks cool. So here we have sky, and you kind of see, you know, it gives it that little eye. Of course, I could always make it smaller. I'm gonna go with the selection tool, and I'll rotate it something like that. Cool, that looks pretty cool if you ask me. So sky. And what I'm going to do here is continue with these words here. I might add more just to fill in the rest of the body, so I'll come back once I have everything finished. Alright guys, so I am finally back. That took me about 15 minutes in total to do all of the words. So you can see that I added a little bit more words just to fill in the gaps here. So I have sky, midnight, twilight, howl, windy, cold, moon, fog, and mountain. I just pretty much put everything that relates to a wolf. And you kind of want to do the same thing with your image. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but you know, having the words that are similar to your image is awesome. So once we have all of our text and all of the words how we want it, again, let me show you guys how it looked and how it turned out. So I have moon here, mountain. I just kind of typed in mountain. But if you're gonna do this, you know, have it the other way around, so horizontally, I believe, or vertically, then you're gonna have to type in the word normally, right? So it's horizontally, and then go to object, select your word, of course. Go to object, envelope, distort, and then you go to I don't know what it says, but you know, select the option to apply it with a mesh, and just do the same thing like we did before. But when you have that, you're gonna go over to the selection tool, and then you're gonna go to one of the corners, and then you're gonna see two little arrows, and then you're gonna hold shift, and then you're gonna rotate that to however you want your image or your word to angle it to be, or how you want the angle of the word to be. And then you could actually edit each of the anchor points to your liking. So I put howl, windy. So I kind of had fun with this and kind of went my way to doing this. So you know, you kind of want to do the same thing with your words as well. So again, leave some gap around the edges of each word, because this will be very important. So howl, I need to move that a little bit closer to the edge here. Same with cold. So you don't want it to be too close to the edge here. So cold, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna make this a little bit closer here, like that. Fog, everything looks good. So once we have done everything, you know, we have all the words set and we're ready to go, we're gonna be applying a texture to make this look even better. So to do that, first we're gonna go over to our wolf. So unclick the little lock icon that we did earlier. So here's our text, and then here's our wolf. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to select the wolf image here, and I'm going to change that to a nice, like not a total black, but like a soft black here. And cool. So I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'll click OK. Because if you select like a total black, it's going to look really boring. So I'm going to just, you know, select like a nice shade of black. Anyway, go to wolf, and then I'm going to go to the transparency little window here. If you guys don't have that, go to window. In the top, if you're on a Mac, if you're on a PC, it should be the same. And then go down to transparency, or shift command F10 to bring up the transparency window. Select the wolf background, so your image here, it should be the silhouette. Click make mask, okay. And once you have make mask, we're gonna go ahead and copy one of our vector textures. I'll post the link for you guys to download this in the description. Trust me, I will add it to the description this time. So I'm gonna go ahead and select this one here. No, I'm gonna select this one here because I like this one better. Make sure you use the selection tool, not the direct selection tool, because if you use the direct selection tool, you're only gonna select little portions of the texture. So click on the one you like, press Command C to copy it, and then go back, paste it. So Command V, and then resize it to fill your whole entire thing. So I'm gonna just make this bigger like that. So cool. So now we have this here. Before we do that though, make sure you click on this black box here, and then press Command V to paste it, and then we can go ahead and hold Alt or Option to make this bigger. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to go ahead and uncheck clip, and then we're gonna select invert mask. And once we've done that, you can see our texture here, and you can see that it's now applied it to our background. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this bigger, so you know it didn't cover the whole image. So Option or Alt. And the good thing about Illustrator is you could resize as much as you want, and the image will not decrease. Like, you can't see pixels whatsoever if you zoom in all the way. So that's, you know, Illustrator for you. That's why using with graphics is better with Illustrator, because you know, graphics, that's what Illustrator is for. Photoshop is more for images. Anyways, when you're resizing, you could hold the space button here when it's selected, and then you could move it around to however you like. Just a little quick tip. So cool. Here is our texture applied to the image here, and everything looks, looks nice. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a group out of everything. So press Command A to select everything, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna press Command G to group everything together. So everything should be grouped together. If you move everything, it should all be grouped. So if I go back, you know, it should be grouped, right? Oh, we have to click on this as well to go back to our image. So we only have this. Select everything, press Command A, and then press Command G, and then you have everything grouped together, as you can see. So that looks great. So now we're gonna go ahead and add a new opacity to our image. So here's our, you know, our texture here. It looks very, very nice. So now to add a texture to the text itself, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select each of our text here, or just actually no, lock the wolf and then select our text. Okay, then we're gonna make a group out of that. So object, group that together, so it should be like that. Wow, I don't know why it's selecting the wolf, to be honest. Object, ungroup. So I'm just do this into, you know, manually. So hold shift, click each word here, like that, and that, and that. So now they're all selected. Then go to object, group. Okay, and then we're gonna click on this, and we're gonna click make mask. And we forgot moon here. So click make mask, and then we're gonna paste in our vector texture that we've copied. And make sure you click this right here. Press Command V to paste it, and then make this bigger. So we're gonna make that like that. And then uncheck clip, and then select invert mask, and then click back. And you can see it selected some of it, not all of it though, for some reason. Although I don't know why that is happening for sure. So let me go back here. So make mask. Whoops. Hold on. I want to make sure I'm doing this correctly. Okay, object group. Okay. So now we make mask. Paste it in there, and then make this bigger. So make the text bigger, or the texture, and then go to make mask. Once we click on that, wow, don't know why it's, you know, doing this. So click on that, and then click paste in our texture. Make this bigger. Whoops, not too big. Uncheck clip, and then select invert mask, and then click back. There you go. Now you have your texture. For some reason that was a little bit confusing. So sorry guys, but here's our texture, and now it applied it to our text itself. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna move over to Photoshop and get this baby done. Alright guys, so here is our finished result of our artwork that we made. So here's our wolf with all of the texture and everything. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna go ahead and copy this onto our image here that I found on Google. It's just a picture of a foggy forest, which sets the theme for this, which is perfect. So press Command A and Command C to copy it, and press Command V to paste it on here. And I'm gonna go ahead and make this smaller here, just like so. And you wanna go ahead and make sure that you rename your layer. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that just do it right now. So click on layer 1, I'm naming this wolf, and cool. So once you have done that, we're gonna go ahead and add a filter to our background. So I'm gonna go over to the actions, and you guys can download this actions little tweak here into Photoshop. It's very simple. I made a video on that a while back, so just check those videos out, and you guys will be able to know how to use the actions, which is very easy. So I'll post a link for that as well in the description. So once you have access to the Spoon Graphics retro filters, you guys can go ahead and select each one to see which one you like. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just delete these for now. What I'm gonna do first though is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to select the vector artwork that we made in Illustrator, and we're gonna go ahead and press Command I to invert the artwork. And what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna change the blending mode to screen. So go to blending mode and set that to screen, so you guys can now see through the actual artwork, which is really cool. And now you could of course decrease the opacity to your liking, but what I'm gonna just keep it at 100% because you know, it makes it look nice. And so yeah, so now this looks very, very cool. Again, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna import my own texture. I'm gonna post a link for this in the description as well. So textures, and I'm gonna select this one here. Press Command A and Command C to copy that. Press Command V to paste it as well. And I'm going to fill this whole document like so. Press Command Enter to accept the changes. And I'm going to change that to multiply. And you guys can now see that because it's white, it just added a cool little texture. And I'm going to decrease the opacity to 70%. Like so. And then for the background, make sure this is not in front of the wolf, but behind it. Background, we're going to go ahead and go over to filter. And we're going to go to noise and add noise just to give it a nice little vintage effect, I guess. So amount 3, we don't want to ruin our image. So now you guys can see this really cool effect that you could do. And you guys can make a wallpaper out of this as well. So now we're going to go ahead and, like I said, go to your background, make sure that layer is selected, and you guys could, select the filter. So you're probably going to look like this. Click on the folder on the little drop down icon here, or the little triangle. And then you guys can go down and select each one. So Mignon, select play, and it gives you that. If you can just press delete if you don't like it. Heat wave, that looks pretty cool, but I don't like it. You could do that one. Wilderness, reunion, radiance. Whoops. Whoa. Go back here. I don't like that one very much, so I'm just delete those. Daydream. That one looks pretty cool actually, and then Molly. So that one looks really cool. I like Daydream. That one looks really cool. I like the set of this little theme here. It looks very colorful. And yeah, so once we've done that, we're pretty much set and done, to be honest. This is pretty much the finished result. Again, you guys could do whatever you want. It just the final design has similar characteristics of hand-drawn art that people would do, but it doesn't really require perfection and patience that's necessary with pen and paper, so that's a good thing. And it's very easy. You guys can manipulate the text and just change how each word is viewed. So this is how it looks like with our finished result: midnight, twilight, howl, windy, and it looks very cool. And in my opinion, this is really cool. If you guys want some wallpapers or whatever, you guys could do that as well. So Daydream, that looks really cool. I kind of like it like this, to be honest. You guys don't have to do this, but I'll post a link for the actions in the description. So it just adds a little bit of detail to the image. So if this video helped you in any way, please leave a rating below. That would be much appreciated. It means you guys want more videos like this. And comment if you guys liked anything in the tutorial, or if you have any questions, please tell me in the comments and I'll try to get to you as quick as possible. And I will catch you guys on my next video. Until then, stay classy and peace out.